The opinions in this podcast are solely those of the creators and do not reflect the opinions of the filmmakers involved. If you are of legal drinking age, feel free to have a drink with us, but please do drink responsibly. You're listening to Cole-astic Cinema.
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
There is no pena, only soul.
And you never once paid for drugs.
Not once.
With your host, Fabian Salazar.
If not a fun, well, that sounds like it's going to be a fun time. Doesn't sound like it's going to be good by any means.
And Cole Butterfield.
I'm expecting some unhinged cage action.
Where we talk about movies, most of the time.
It is kind of boring.
It's kind of boring.
So come along for a ride and have fun.
Oh, doo-doo.
To the end of the notebook.
Oh my God, I love being hungover doing the podcast. It's the best feeling because I really don't want to talk. I just want to watch the fucking movie. Welcome to Cole-astic Cinema.
What's up, guys?
And after that glorious intro, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and send us all your friends. Send your friends our way so they can listen to us be hungover talking about movies. And the movie we're talking about today is what?
It's got a really long, dumb name for a stupid reason.
Yeah.
It's Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Right. This movie came out in 2009. It was directed by Werner Herzog, written by William Finkelstein. You were doing the... Yeah.
I was practicing Werner Herzog. Just keep going.
It stars Nicolas Cage, Ava Mendes, Russell Hauser, Val Kilmer, and those keeping track. This is our first Nicolas Cage this season. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wait,
Really?
is it?
No.
No. What season is this?
Three.
Oh, yeah, we started with Face Off.
Yeah, we started with Face
I forgot
Off.
we're still on season 3.
Still on
I was
season
thinking
three.
about season
We're reaching
4.
the end.
We are. We've got, let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 movies left this season.
Oh, damn. So we've got Tusk and...
Tusk, hang on, I just had it. The Thing and
The Thing.
and Big Lebowski.
And Lebowski. That's right.
Okay, so back to we did the starring. Let's see, going back. This movie was filmed in New Orleans. Shocker, Port of Call, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
This movie was made for $25 million. Woof. It made back $1.7 million, and worldwide made back $10 million. God, what is this, like the 5th movie that's bombed we've done in a row? Oh, fucking
The bombs are just some of the better films to watch because you know you're only going to lose.
Oh, no, we did Terminator 2. Yeah,
That didn't bomb.
That didn't bomb.
That didn't bomb.
Suspiria did, though.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
And I don't know, maybe this one should be another one of those ones that we watch where like, this shouldn't have bombed. This is actually good.
I'm not expecting that from this.
Neither am I, man. I'm going to be honest. I'm expecting some unhinged cage action and like a lot of producer notes to just kind of show up and get in the way of a lot of things because that's why it's called such a long, stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
That seems like a producer.
Yeah, because a producer who like had worked with the original Bad Lieutenant with
Harvey Keitel.
And Abel Ferreira. Yeah. And also Harvey Keitel. He'd worked on that. He decided he wanted to kind of like make this like a reboot almost.
Yeah, that's what I got from looking at the title. I was like, wait, did they want this to like be a continuation?
No. Werner Herzog wanted it nothing to do with it. He actually had never even like heard of or seen the movie before he even started doing this. Like he had no idea.
I never even knew that Nicolas Cage was an actor. But then I saw him in all of his glory. That's a little bit too Christopher Lambert, but
There's nothing funner of a thing than to witness Nicolas Cage and an iguana in the same shot, and it's just fun with the movies. I filmed a movie where a man got ate by a grizzly, as we will all eventually eat. A grizzly ends as you die, soaked in your own excrement into the bedpan. Kind of lost it there towards the end.
I did a film with Klaus Kinski back in the 70s, and I almost killed him with a gun.
Which also connects him to Nicolas Cage because they both love Nosferatu.
Yeah. That was so wild hearing that story. I'm like, fucking
Like,
what?
wait, what?
Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, Werner Herzog almost killed a man on the set of a movie.
a man who, from what I read, is like notoriously hard to fucking work with. Like not Werner Herzog, but Klaus Kinski
But
is like
also like a very demanding director and a very, very hard to work with actor. Just button heads.
Yep.
Getting to the point where Werner Herzog pulls a gun on you, you should probably stop. Stop doing what you're doing.
Fucking 72. Werner Herzog gonna pull out a fucking gun.
Oh man. So yeah, I think we're gonna be in for a if not a fun. Well, that sounds like it's gonna be a fun time. Doesn't sound like it's gonna be good by any means.
I hope. I'm just really curious because I've never seen the original. But I did read a couple of pretty much this whole plot breakdowns about it because I know it was originally supposed to be like rated NC-17 for like a lot of graphics, like sexual violence and stuff like that on top of all the drug use that is already there. I think at one point in time you're supposed to see Harvey Keitel's full Keitel as during a questionable masturbation scene. So I'm curious about how close it's going to be to that, or if it's going to be a little bit more sanitized down because this is 2009. This is like Nicolas Cage, Eva Mendes, Val Kilmer. Like, I'm curious if it's going to be as close, like if they had anything even remotely close to that, or if they should have just been just port of call New Orleans.
Yeah. Is this the movie where Nicolas Cage like harasses two old women? I think it is.
I think it is. I think this is the one where he harasses, which a lot of the stuff he does apparently was ad-libbed, much to the writer's chagrin until he realized the genius that was having Nicolas Cage and Werner Herzog combined. Like, it's like, oh, never mind. No, I love the finished product. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
So yeah, I don't really know. We might just continuously do the shorter preambles so we can have a longer.
I just want to watch the fucking movie, man. Like,
I kind of do too.
Like, I don't know if it's going to be a treat. I doubt. I have no idea what to think going in. Like, even like watching the trailer, I've got no expectations on what's going to happen.
Well, we saw the trailer at
saw the trailer at Previews, which was fucking awesome, guys.
It looked like a dumb movie.
Yeah, but like it looked just like so sloppily, just like chopped together of a trailer, and it was like I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But,
yeah.
I mean,
so yeah, it should be pretty fun. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go ahead and get in. I do have one note. They used 2,400 cans of decaf coffee.
Yeah, I read that because they tried using paint, but that was toxic. They tried using full strength coffee, but that could be absorbed through the skin of the actor, which was like, can you imagine like pretty much nearly dying from a caffeine overdose on the set of Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Oh man!
So they had to use read the whole bunch of fucking decaf. I read that. Yeah.
Here's how you swing it. You go, oh yeah, he died of a caffeine overdose working for Werner Herzog.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh okay, yeah. What movie was it? Nah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter. You name me a Werner Herzog movie. If you can name me a Werner Herzog movie, I'll tell you what fucking movie it was.
Yeah.
I know you're aware of who he is and what he does. He has this type of branding, but fucking name a movie.
Name one of his movies besides Nosferatu.
Besides Nosferatu and Grizzly Man, give me one other fucking movie, and then I'll tell you how he died. I'll tell you. All right. It wasn't a caffeine overdose. Why would you even bring that up? That's a weird thing for you to do. You're weird.
You're acting kind of strange. You're acting strange.
You're projecting.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep the preamble nice and short again, and just go and get in it because I'm excited. This is also a longer movie, isn't it? This is the
2 hours and 2 minutes. It's not the longest one we've done, but it's still over the 2 hour mark.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go get into it. And that brings us to today's sponsor. This podcast is brought to you by Hopkins Brewing Company in Sugar House, Utah, South Salt Lake City, Utah. It's a low-key brickline brew pub with great friends, great food, great beer. And today I had another one of our staples, the Autobahn Hefeweizen, just to get in the spirit of German. And then I also had the American Lager, which was the owner, Chad Hopkins, shout out, was telling us that it was a happy accident that they made, and it's actually really, really tasty. It's a very, very clean, very smooth lager, and I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, no, I had that lager too. I like it a lot. It's one of the ones I've been drinking in between the Friendly Introduction, which is obviously one of the flagship beers that they've got on tap right now. We're also just straight up enjoying myself a chicken farmhouse salad, which is just cucumbers, carrots, ranch, red onions. I mean, just a classic, good, nice, chill salad to have with the beer.
And those merch hounds out there, as summer and spring is slowly, finally getting here. Holy crap! Except for Utah, where it could snow tomorrow.
Oh, fucking jeez.
Hopkins offers a wide variety of shirts and beanies and hats and polos and all that fun stuff. And, like I said, as it gets warmer, we do have a full assortment of bro tanks and women's tanks and just nice spring, summertime wear.
Yeah, crop tops and all the fun stuff. I think at one point there might have been talk about getting some bandanas for dogs, so keep an eye out for that.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
Little bandanas for dog. Gotta get Mo one.
Oh, dogs and bandanas, it's so cute.
All right, we're going to go watch Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Port of Call, New Orleans.
Oh, God.
Shoot him again.
What?
Fool. His soul's still dancing.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is do whatever you want, do drugs, frame people, kill people, help gang leaders, and eventually it'll just work out.
This was an interesting movie.
I still don't know if I liked it or not.
Well, see, that's where I'm coming from. Is I don't know if I liked it, and I don't know if it was necessarily entertaining. Like there were moments where you're like,
yeah,
nice.
There's specific moments, but
yeah, but I think
it is a whole.
it's just I think it's a pretty boring movie.
Yeah. I mean, the parts where Cage is freaking out on crack and stuff
yeah,
is fun.
I mean that's fun, but
the
that's,
part where he's threatening old ladies is fun.
that.
I mean,
honestly,
fun is subjective.
I mean, I don't know the subjective word is. I appreciated that part because of how hard I read the original one going.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So he is a bad lieutenant. It's in the title. He is not a good guy, but it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know how. Like even like taking notes. Like I don't have a lot of notes just because
it is kind of boring.
It's kind of boring.
It's a lot of.
Like
it's a lot of just like nothing, like waiting and
like
setting something up, which all the payoffs pay off pretty well.
I mean, I guess, but like I was never really like.
But it was more so like was he like subconsciously doing these things or intentionally doing these things? Because the way he lines everything up to where everything just works out in the end.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know if he was intentionally like if he's that smart, but. I mean, obviously he understands the law well enough to work his way up to lieutenant and eventually at the end become the captain of the police force.
Yeah, but it kind of just feels like it had to happen for like the movie to happen. Like is he never really gave anything away like that. He was said that he was a good detective, but.
Yeah, the chief said.
He's like, I got one of my best detective now on property.
Also, where did that storyline just kind of disappeared?
Yeah, kind of just went away. And then kind of just.
It was like, oh, he's working. Maybe it was just like a brief suspension or something. And then after he kills the Italian mob, like the dude comes in and is like, yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but he's still like.
So did like the fucking. Did the internal affairs or infernal affairs, whatever the fuck they're called, like they just threw like, okay, well we're gonna drop this then.
Yeah, because
I guess so and so is such a high up.
Yeah, because
rich,
that like
oil, whatever the fuck he
like
is.
they were able to get away with him, torturing the old woman because her memory actually is spotty. She couldn't even tell you the race of her caretaker. Like she's
right.
pretty out of it. So it's like, okay, we can write that off super quick in one fucking line. Even though it's like this is what's gonna fuck.
It's
him
another
up.
one that just didn't end up going anywhere.
No, it's just like, and then also fucking that, just like done. It's like a bunch of series of vignettes and with a bunch of nothing
right.
in between.
Let's get into. No, shut up, Siri. Let's get into our notes.
Yeah.
I have so many suddens. Very first shot is a snake swimming through coffee.
Yep, that's a snake and coffee. That's
Don't worry, it's decaf.
yeah, it's okay though. So no, yeah, I don't think the animal was harmed. Hopefully.
And then my next one is weird no sideburns Nick Cage. Like this is the era of like National Treasure 2 in this movie where he had no sideburns and
sideburns.
he looks fucking weird.
His hairlines are receding, so it's just
It looks he kind of looks like Coconut Head.
yeah,
a little bit.
He's constantly just like pulling his hair back, just like
So weird. Okay, yeah, and then I've got a bunch of other ones. What do you?
Well, my first note was what Val Kilmer said when they're like in there, like this is right after like the hurricane has happened, Katrina has happened. They've got a prisoner that's in there, which they kind of just stumble upon blindly after raiding another officer's locker to get
Nude photos of his
wife, which Jesus. But then like, wait, that means like you still got to file, which means maybe not everyone was transferred out. So like the entire prison was transferred out except for this one guy, and then like Val Kilmer said, because like they decided making bets on just how long it would take for the guy to drown. And like one of the line is like his line is like, "Oh come on, we'll get the time of death during the autopsy." Like, don't jump in there. That's fucking disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's like holy. Oh, okay. So
But inevitably, like that's that all comes full circle at the end when the dude's like, "You saved my life. Let me help you get off drugs," and blah blah blah. So
which I guess he kind of, happy ending.
yeah. It was like when it was like looking at it like, oh, this is gonna have a happy ending. I really wanted him to get smoked. Like
No. Well, that's spoiler alert. Like I don't know if you plan on going to watch the '92 version, but spoiler alert. No, he gets fucking blown away. Like all the shit he does, it catches up with him, and he ends up getting fucking shot. And like
as it should be, but
yeah.
Now maybe that's also Werner Herzog being like, no, this isn't how real life works. Bad people win.
This is bad people who win all the time. You think just because they're in the system that they are justice, but that is
there is actually no justice in this world.
In this, especially post disaster, everything is up in arms and shambles, deteriorating at all times.
Yeah, so I guess it's a more of a realistic ending. Just given, especially because this came out in 2009, and fair amount of things have happened since then.
Yeah,
when it comes in regards to police forces. So it's like, but like, man, I don't.
Came out in 2009, but set in 2005, 2006,
something like that. Yeah.
I think that's when Katrina happened.
Yeah, but it also like there's also time jumps because like they have 6 months after that, and then you have like a year after that. So there's like I think it's like roughly within like a year and a half, 2 year period.
Yeah.
Post Katrina is when it all takes place. But yeah, just Val Kilmer's just like, oh yeah, no, we'll just get the firefighters will deal with it. We'll just get the time of death on the autopsy. Like, come on, like no.
It's like they just blatantly don't give a shit.
Yeah, which like I got to imagine there's definitely some people like that. But
yeah,
Jesus, but also just the shot of the fucking snake, and then maybe like, oh yeah, it's 2009, Vicodin. Hey, it's like, oh, you're gonna be in a lot of pain. Here's some Vicodin. Here's some Fluoxetine and Oxy. Find all this shit. Like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Right when we're just getting to that point where it's just like, oh, the painkillers. Just give them out to everybody. What could possibly happen? We're not being bought out from behind the scenes. No, Vicodin. Just give them Vicodin.
What else? Oh yeah, I knew that was her. Or the highway patrolman. The lady's. She was in The Craft.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was her. I didn't say anything though.
You're talking about
Fairuza Balk.
Yeah, Fairuza Balk. Yeah, playing Heidi.
Yeah, no, she's good.
Was she also in Waterboy? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of some.
Am I confusing my white people again?
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can hear the Formula One.
Yeah, so I just heard that too. I'm like,
but yeah, yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing Waterboy.
Probably not. But
yeah,
just get my white people confused.
Anyway, then I've got sudden Michael Shannon.
Yeah, baby Michael Shannon is what I had in there. It's like, whoa,
sudden,
unassuming Michael Shannon too,
Yeah.
not like the Michael Shannon we're kind of used to now. It's like, well, that's a scary man.
Yeah. Then I have sudden exhibit.
Sudden exhibits in this too.
It wasn't. I thought it was at the time, but it turns out it wasn't. X's house is the mansion. I thought it was it was where G or the other one.
The other one is a name that it's
it's not one we're gonna say. But I thought I wrote down. You'd think Exhibit would have a better car.
You'd think somebody like
well, actually
pimp
wasn't
that
his
ride.
house.
Yeah, at least pimp that ride maybe a little bit.
I had the cinematography. It was really, really good, which isn't surprising for a Werner Herzog movie. Cage's 44 Magnum, which was awesome.
In the front of his pants, though.
Yeah.
Like the entire
time, it's just pointed right at his dick.
I don't care how badass you fucking think you are. Never, ever, ever just shove a gun into the front of your fucking pants. That is fucking stupid. You're asking to shoot your dick off. And when you do shoot your dick off, I'm not going to feel bad. You are fucking...
That's a nice touch, just giving him a 44.
Just giving a 44 just right there, like...
Okay, and then I have sudden Brad Dourif, sudden Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, sudden Jennifer Coolidge. It's like, and not doing the voice. And not doing
the Stifler's mom voice.
Stifler's mom. And just like, oh yeah, like she can do other fucking things.
Yeah, she was really good in this.
Oh yeah, no, I thought she did a great job.
Then the DA's name, Jeremiah
Good husband. Bullshit.
Fuck that. That's not a real name.
Fuck off. Good husband. There's like no way to make that name sound like an actual last name. Good husband.
Yeah, and then I just I have my last note was just him becoming the captain. I was like, fucking all right, tack on the happy ending.
Okay. So yeah, mine. After we get baby Michael Shannon, then we get that first shakedown when the girl starts offering. It's like, this is my grandmother's brooch. It's worth $60,000 or $6,000. But you can see on her wrist she's got a massive fucking like Rolex watch on her, like also worth a lot more. And that seems like, okay, so we're getting into some like gritty, some darker stuff like the original ones. Like, you fucking stay and watch me fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I'm not quite Harvey Keitel whipping out his dick and masturbating into a car, but hey, it's like, all right, we're kind of, and that's got to something that definitely fucking happen, especially like as a user, because he's more than just a cop. He's also like an addict and a user, incredibly into it, so he knows the ins and out of the system. But it's like, I don't know, kind of almost wanted a bit more out of the system. I'm not saying I want to see Nick Cage's dick, but I don't know. I think maybe if it could have been a bit more graphic.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a lot more tame than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was pretty chill. For like you have these heightened moments where I fires off a shot in the air. It's like, no, you stay and watch me fuck your girlfriend. And then kind of just nothing happens
for a while.
Like the next note I have is like, drugs and their effect on sex when he fails to, because he's just trying to.
Which, god damn, like when she was stepping on his thigh with her boots on and everything, I was like, ooh, tingle.
Yeah, it's like,
But anyway.
Okay. Man. It's something about that. Don't know what it is, but there's definitely something about that.
There's something there.
But you're on so many goddamn drugs that once again you can't. It's like
she's like
She's like, you're fucking kidding me right now. I mean, she eventually ends up helping get because it all ends up fucking just coming together, coming up roses.
Yeah.
For Nicolas Cage, but just it's like that's just take this away from his kids, even though we flagged this as not safe for kids. Just be aware that drugs and alcohol do have effect on your sexual organs.
Yeah, and your life and your relationships.
Your life and your relationships, but also like at the end of the day, sex.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big one. Like you really don't want to. I've suffered from whiskey dick. I'll be honest, and it's embarrassing as fucking hell. You don't want to do that.
Well, when you get whiskey dick and combine that with antidepressant medication, there's no fucking way.
Or you get cocaine dick combined with antidepressants, where it's like, oh no, I'm just gonna go. For so fucking long. This is not even fun anymore.
We're out of lube and I'm tired.
Yeah, it's like what time is it? We've been up for the past 12 fucking hours. What is going on here? My God.
I'm just like it's fine. You're pretty and obviously I think so. Like
I mean, we're still doing stuff, but it's just like I feel like you are also personally tired.
Yeah, and you're probably we're both very chafed and
I am out of Gatorade and the water and the tap water here is trash. I do not have a Brita filter. But it's just like, so just be aware that drugs and alcohol do have an effect on your life, and one of those things is sex. And I think that's a good thing to keep in mind when it comes
to keep in mind. Nobody has sex anymore.
But people don't have sex anymore.
No.
People no. As far as I'm aware, nobody's having sex anymore. That is a lie. I know a lot of people that are having sex right now.
Yeah.
And I am so happy for them. Good for you guys.
Yeah, hooray.
Way to go. Cocksuckers.
Moving on.
Moving on. I'm not depressed and lashing out. You are. Noticing Coolidge not doing the voice and being reminded that she actually has a real fucking voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Then just the amount of times that Nicolas Cage just like giggles at the nickname G.
Yeah, he does the same laugh every time.
Just
G.
like, I felt like there's like a lot of jokes that I was missing with everything that he was laughing about, but also then again, he's just fucking high on crack.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not a joke I'm missing out on. That's just Nicolas Cage's.
He's high on crack and he's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's just it's Nicolas Cage pretending to be high on crack. So I guess I'm just gonna find.
Maybe that'll be the tagline for this one. Nick Cage, high on crack and insane.
High on
Could
crack
you
and
ask for
insane.
anything more?
Yes, I could ask for a lot fucking more.
I
This
could have
movie
too.
Is so fucking slow.
It was exhausting.
It's like, okay, something's got to happen, right? Nope. It's like, nope.
I was waiting for there to be some kind of shootout or something.
Something
There is one, but it's like, oh my
brief
god.
as hell, but followed by a fantastic moment.
Yeah, yeah. Highlight of the movie.
Then the whole "Do you know who my dad is?" thing.
Ugh.
Like, just, oh god.
Oh, you trust fund rich kids.
Oh my fuck. That's why you're going around fucking hitting sex workers. It's because you just suck so fucking much. Like, oh god damn it. That's when there should have been a shootout, but then you have to have a whole murder cover up thing involved. But it's just like, God, just people like that are just so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And you just even like fake characters. Ooh, big mistake. Ooh. So I don't.
Shut up.
I don't know.
Why is the scene still going?
Yeah, the scene is still going, and he like pauses and opens the door back up to go. Ooh, like maybe this entire movie is just like a prank being played on the viewer. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal.
see that.
I don't know what the idea was with that character choice and how to portray that.
Ooh.
Ooh. It's like, because you're in a film with Nick Cage, you're like, I can do that too. You can't.
No,
You
nobody
can't.
can be
don't
Cage.
don't even fucking try. Especially when you're trying to do it at Nicolas Cage. Knock it off. Fucker. And then just noticing that the dog was in the car for a really long time. And
Yeah, that
was
dog was. It was like, he needs to get out.
that poor fucking dog.
Give that dog some fucking water.
Yeah, he's like, he's probably pissed or shit in the back of your fucking car. Like, get that dog out, and that poor dog. And then the old white lady privilege was like, I want to see your superior. Just like, yes.
He doesn't even he looks at her, but doesn't even acknowledge the question.
Yeah, just like, no, I don't have time to deal with your stupid white woman bullshit. Wanted to see a manager. I don't care because I can do whatever I want. I've got a 44 Magnum aimed right at the tip of my penis. And I'm going to cut off your oxygen. Which was kind of a fun, intense moment, but just kind of just ultimately just added to he flew to England to be with her family, so he didn't have to testify against exhibit and then possibly be shot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's wrapped up. Now Cage has got this other thing to deal with, his gambling debts. These are also involved the entire time, but yeah, we're quickly tying. I guess all the storylines do get tied up, but it just really feels like he should have had some sort of comeuppance instead of just ending with his dad. I'm guessing he married.
Yeah, he was
Eva
saying
Mendes?
in yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about Cage's dad.
Cage's dad.
He has that cute little moment with Eva Mendes in the shack, saying when my mom died and blah blah, I hid away the spoon.
Because I thought that there was pirates coming down the Mississippi River.
Yeah, and then but yeah, I think they end up together, and then she's pregnant and everything.
She's pregnant and sober. Like they all have make a point of saying no, we're just gonna have stick with our sparkling water, no wine, no thank you. Happy moments to which, that's definitely skipping ahead from other things.
But yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Some simple notes because a lot doesn't fucking happen. So it's simple notes the whole gambling being a thing. Like in the previous movie, that's how he pretty much ends up getting shot. Is all the people he owes money end up catching up to him.
Yeah.
And that's how they end the fucking movie, which
is a more realistic movie.
fucking thing.
When did that one come out? In 92?
92.
They didn't wait any time to
No,
fucking make this one.
No, they didn't wait. And
They're like-
they also came out the same day, November 20th.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but also that's from what I've read, a big producer fucking thing to try to make it more and more like that.
Yeah, yeah. And the rights were up at that point. It was over 10 years, so I don't know why they chose this one. I mean, it's the same thing. It's in the same time frame as the fucking Wicker Man remake. So maybe Cage just needed some money.
I mean, that's usually a thing.
But at least the Wicker Man, the original, came out in the 70s.
Yeah. With oh god, I don't ever remember who it had.
Christopher Lee.
That's right. But yeah, still had
Which that movie's really good. The
original
one,
or the one
the
with-
original.
No,
the other, the Wicker Man. I mean,
Wicker
that's
Man.
that's in for our B movie for next season. Oh god, I'm
It's
excited
a
for
literal B movie.
that one's so good.
I've never seen it. I just know that
it's
one
it's
scene.
good in a bad way.
Where like this one, I don't think it's
I didn't hate it, but also it's
like I didn't hate it, but I don't know if I necessarily enjoyed it.
yeah.
Like
Again, like we enjoyed parts of it, but
parts of it, like little anecdotes, like shoot him again. His soul's still dancing.
yeah, that's the best part of the movie.
It's just those little weird Cage
just
one-liners.
Cage just staring. I love that.
with a wide-eyed and a smile because he's fucking cracked out.
Yeah.
And just, but
I was gonna make a note of being like Eva Mendes is really good at kissing. Because like not just from like this movie, but like most of everything I've seen her in where she kisses somebody, like looks like she's like into it no matter what.
oh yeah. No, something else I noticed is like they have interesting chemistry. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's great chemistry.
I feel like she just has really good chemistry with anybody.
with
Like, she's-
anybody. Like watching God, man, like I think the first thing that comes to mind because I'm a fucking weird ass was her and Hitch with Will Smith. Fantastic chemistry, but also I think Ava Mendes is just able to have chemistry with anybody.
Yeah, and then her and the other guys with Will Ferrell. And
Yeah,
everything, like
that was fantastic. Such a fantastic job. And when I first saw that was out of nowhere. I'm like, motherfucking Will Ferrell's married to Eva Mendes, and
Yeah.
the fuck are we doing here?
No, seriously, who is that?
Seriously, who is that? So yeah, no, she's got great on-screen chemistry, people, which is awesome. She's super cool. I thought she did a great job. I mean, she's no Elizabeth Shue in Leaving Las Vegas, but she's still doing a really good job and kind of like being very, very sympathetic and kind of, I guess, antithetical to what Nicolas Cage's character is.
Yeah,
Because she kind of wants to get out where Cage is kind of just burying himself in deeper.
but it works out for him.
But it works out for him in the end because, fucking, life's not fair.
No.
It's not fair, and people don't always get what's coming to them, which is
the moral of the story is that it's all meaningless, and no matter what you do, is the bad people will come on top as you continue to struggle to assemble everything from the broken pieces of the hurricane that is depression and life.
I mean, yeah, if there's anything to take away from this movie.
yeah, is that nothing matters and life sucks.
Nothing matters, and bad people will always continue to get away with things.
It's a very fun, happy movie. It's listed as a dark comedy on IMDb.
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah, it wasn't.
Well, and then also notice, okay, the next note, just to kind of skip ahead, keep things rolling, is just like the football player kid getting, like the college kid getting blackmailed over just the smallest amount of weed, dude.
Yeah.
That is the tiniest bag.
Also, yeah, who puts their weed in a bag like that? That like it was like I was like, oh, he's got.
It also looked like pure shake, man.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
this guy.
yeah.
I mean, he's
Well, it was either pure shaker or it was fucking heroin because that's the only reason you'd have that bag. It's like you don't put weed in that bag.
Yeah, you don't put weed in that bag, but I'm pretty sure, like, pretty sure he accuses him of it being, he accuses him of being marijuana, saying it's marijuana, which done in a shitty shaky bag, which makes sense because he's a college player, which means he's got no money coming in from all the big ass things that he does to bring in money for that college.
Right.
But that's a separate topic for a whole nother day.
And he doesn't. Well, this is before they actually started paying NCAA.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
athletes.
It's 2009, man.
So-
So like he's like got no fucking money. His you know like house and everything's been. He's trying to do that stupid,
Especially
fucking thing
not
of
from
buying-
his scholarship.
Oh yeah, not from his scholarship whatsoever.
To where
like
he
that.
has to go back into the hood to buy weed.
Yeah,
He can't just buy it from somebody on campus.
yeah, no, can't just go to the white guy whose dad's a big deal.
Yeah, you can't just go to the trust fund kid and buy some of his weed.
You gotta get fucking shake. But also then you get blackmailed
Yeah,
for just a little bit of shake.
but it's also like I get the thinking too behind it, being like, well, if I buy it on campus and get in trouble, then
Oh yeah, then
I
like,
can lose my whole scholarship.
scholarship, which means I can't
all
get the
that.
draft, just means
even
I
though
can't,
it's just weed.
make a team and even being like third string, make enough money to where I can buy my mom a house after she just can probably most likely lost her house, and Katrina, like he's got a lot riding on this, which is
Yeah.
also just another indictment on how the system's set up to where like sometimes the only way for you to get out of anything is to try to just like make it big, go pro, just shoot your big old shot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're not just gonna fucking make it, and even just the slightest mistake, like having weed.
Weed in 2009.
Weed in 2009. Oh my god. Oh, read from madness, y'all.
Which apparently crack is still like a very big thing, but
Oh man, crack. I will never
like,
understand.
I was
crack.
like, when was this set during Katrina, or is this set in the fucking 90s? What are we doing here?
I think crack is always a thing. Coke has always been a
it's
thing. It's
cheap.
just the popularity waxes and wanes, but Coke
Super easy to make and
yeah,
it's cheap and
super easy
blah,
to
blah,
make, it's
blah,
cheap,
blah,
blah blah. It's always been a thing, but just like the popularity and it's showing up waxes and wanes throughout the decades. I personally think, not that I've ever done. I'm a chef. Who am I kidding?
No.
It's not legally binding.
No.
You can't prove that.
No, I wouldn't touch that shit.
Yeah, no, it's
Wouldn't
especially
like-
especially now, man.
If there are
like,
several drugs that I like hands down will not touch, one is crack.
oh yeah, no crack, no heroin,
No crack, no heroin,
no meth.
no meth.
Well, it's also under those umbrella of drugs where there's drugs like, Phil, these are drugs, these are bad, these will ruin your life, these are incredibly addictive,
Yeah.
they can destroy your body. And then there's the fun, okay ones.
Like weed is fine.
Weed is fine, and then
It's legal in most of this country.
yeah, but then you got the gray area that is alcohol, where yes, it is legal, but it's not that great for you.
No. That's
Whereas weed, like,
alcohol can ruin your life
Yeah.
way faster
Yeah,
and
then-
easier than smoking a little bit of weed and being a little like memory slow for a
yeah,
little bit.
like.
But also, it is a controlled substance, so if you're going to do any of these things, do not drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, please don't do that. No. Like, even if you think you're okay, you're not okay.
No.
Like-
You're never okay.
No. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Just don't do it. That's
It's going to save you a lot more time, heartache, money
Yeah.
to just get a Lyft
Yeah.
or an Uber.
drop the $20 to $30 if you have to for the fucking Uber plus tip to get back home instead of the thousands of dollars and the license
And possible jail time.
possible jail time, which will then fuck you up when it comes to
Even
all-
worse.
Even
DUI,
worse.
lose your license.
DUIs, lose your license.
Have
like,
to go to AA.
Yeah, you have to. Suddenly, like now, getting jobs is harder.
lot
Getting places to live is harder.
Not a lot. I have a handful of friends that have gotten DUIs, and they're not fun.
Oh yeah, no, same here. I've worked with a lot of people, work in kitchens. Obviously, that's a place where alcohol is very popular. This is widely known. I'm not telling any tales out of school with this.
Right.
Like it's literally shown in all manner of kitchen shit. I've worked with a lot
Watch
of
any kitchen documentary, and
Yeah,
there's
or-
drugs and alcohol being flung.
constantly being involved. It's a very volatile industry.
Props
which is,
to yes, agreed. But props to Gordon Ramsay for being a pioneer of trying to put a stop to that shit
after his DUIs.
after his DUIs.
After-
See, if
after-
if it happened to Gordon Ramsay, it can happen to you too. And then yeah,
But it is definitely so. Yeah, no, it's
it's a stereotype, but it's also one of those ones where it's like it's very true. Like
yeah, it is.
I was before I started working for y'all, I was like, oh well, they told me like it's a very clean kitchen. Clean being like, you're not going to be running into anybody doing anything crazy, right?
Oh yeah, no.
So
no.
I was like, okay, cool. And like the heaviest thing I've seen being flung around is coke, which is like
once in a blue moon.
very, very blue. Like once in maybe every other 2 years, somebody will walk in and be like, "You guys want a bump?" And I was like, "Oh, shit.
What the fuck? Where'd you get that? It's like,
Yeah." But other than that, like realistically, the only thing is weed, and there's like it's legal here as long as you have a medical card.
medical card, and it's legal in a lot of places. And Yeah, it's not as like life altering, I think.
No,
As
you just smoke a
compared
little
to,
bit
like,
of weed. You're dumb for like an hour, and then
Yeah.
you're fine.
You're dumb. Maybe you get hungry. Maybe you get sleepy. Or maybe you do that weird thing where you like start cleaning projects, but bounce from project to project to project, and eventually get it done. After doing like, okay, I'm gonna do some dishes here now, but no, I gotta get the laundry going first. Okay, laundry's going now. Let's go back to the dishes. Okay, dishes are finished. Let's go change the laundry over. Fuck, I got to dust now, man. Like, hold on. Let's bump up the Childish Gambino just a bit more right now. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
boom,
sometimes
boom,
you just want to like fucking clean and like do projects that you've been putting off.
And whereas if you I don't think you're gonna have to worry about a cop that's like fucking stoned on weed doing all the shit that we have fucking Nicolas Cage doing while he's just cracked out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Which
Just constantly doing bumps, coke, smoking out of his lucky crack pipe.
lucky crack, but he does a bump right in front of the fucking kid, which is why the kid decides to like bounce. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm not fucking safe with this asshole.
Yeah.
He's literally waiting for me to be asleep, in quotations, and just like Jesus. Yeah.
You
no.
couldn't wait. Well, yeah. I was
But
gonna say you
also,
couldn't wait like the 5 minutes to the fucking casino. It was like, well, it's an hour drive.
It's an hour
How
drive.
long has he been waiting?
Yeah.
To do some more coke?
But also, well, yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I've worked with cokeheads like that, man, and it's fucking upsetting. Like, just the need to get that fixed, and just with honestly the lengths they're willing to go to. We had this. I don't know if I should be name dropping the places where I worked and talking about people using cocaine, but there was this place that I worked at where there was a fair amount of cocaine and some heroin. Somebody got fired because they were passed out in the employee bathroom with a needle in their arm.
Oh yeah, one of my buddies told me about. He had a similar instance at his restaurant.
Yeah.
Where he like this person was gone for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so he went to go find them and open up the stall door, and they're just fucking pants down, shot up, like passed out on the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, seriously?
Yeah, yeah. And, I've had people like with Coke, like just like manic on Coke, but then they need the money for Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Coke is not as cheap as marijuana.
No, Coke's very expensive,
And
from
it's
what I hear.
and it's harder to get from what I hear. I've never personally purchased Coke,
Neither have I.
but like from what I hear, it's definitely a lot more expensive. So like there was like a good month and a half to 2 months where there's just like a long string of just like shit being stolen, like in the employee room and all that. Like, and,
Yeah.
well,
That's why I never leave anything like anywhere.
yeah, no, you can't.
I don't trust anybody regardless,
trust
like,
any
whether or not I
motherfuckers.
think you're clean or not.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
I'm-
don't trust you.
I don't trust you ever.
You don't have to be fucking stoned or cracked out of your mind to steal shit.
And if I do
Sober
end up
thieves.
leaving something at work, I'm like, it better fucking be there. I'm gonna call
swear to
call
God.
you, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
call somebody. And be like, can
It's
you
like,
make
hey,
sure my
that
backpack's
shit's
still there?
It's like, yeah, no, I'll put that aside for you. But yeah, man, the fucking cocaine, and well, in the industry itself, which I know this is a bit of a deviation, but the industry.
It's all right. We're filling time.
Well, we are filling time, but also this is something it's an issue that's pretty important, fairly important to me. When like I try to run a clean kitchen just because it's a hard, shitty, demanding, underpaying job where you're constantly just like you're working in 100+ fucking degrees at all times. And if you're working night shifts, like you're just getting pounded in the ass constantly.
Yep.
And you're not making enough. You got to make money for rent. Sometimes you got you got like
Yeah, and especially if you have families.
Family
and
and shit
some
like
people,
that.
some people, they need this job.
Yeah, and they need this, and like they have to keep this job, but also to continue doing it is just such a weight that you have to look for outside sources because, like with like mental health, mental illness, and all that, it's not easily accessible, and it still can be fairly expensive for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier than going to see a therapist,
Going and getting some weed,
getting some fucking weed, or just getting some fucking blow,
stuffing it down with brown.
You can get a whole bunch of fucking alcohol for super fucking cheap. Just
Yeah.
pull your guys' tips together or whatever, and just like
Go get a 30 rack of cores and stuff it down.
I've been to parties with people where we all just pooled our money together just to we're getting fucked up tonight. We know we got work tomorrow, but we're gonna use what meager things we have to stay at this one person's dilapidated house.
Yeah, yeah.
On a pretty rough part of town to just we're gonna sing our stupid songs and just get fucking hammered and trashed and try all kinds of things because we have to go back and do it all again tomorrow and barely have enough money for the next day.
It weighs on you. Fucking like when I left for the first time, like I had all my outside influence, But tagging on the kitchen job on top of that, like I fucking broke.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't.
No, it does that.
Yeah, it fucking broke me for a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
happy,
it's-
happy, like big advocate for mental health awareness. Like if you have the means, like especially with not plugging, but bringing to attention, like BetterHelp and.
Oh
and,
yeah.
well,
Well, that's the beautiful thing now. There are options.
There's options to get out there and actually work on yourself, make yourself better than, diving into going the complete opposite
the
direction.
complete opposite direction, self-destructing and sabotaging stuff just because it's all cyclical. It just makes like
Yeah.
you start doing this because life is so shitty, but then now life is now shitty because you're doing this shitty thing. So
Yeah.
you do this shitty thing because life is so shitty.
And I'm self-destructive by nature.
Yeah.
I was self-destructive before I started drinking, so it was like it really doesn't help. But me, like I could all of a sudden decide like this podcast isn't worth it anymore and just stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like that, but I know like this is actually one of the things that makes me happy. So I want to keep doing it, but like there's always that weird nagging thought in the back of my mind where it's like, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, oh, why? I was like, because it's actually it's getting some ground, it's getting some legs. Maybe it's a little bit of the fear of success. Maybe it's a little bit of the fear of failure. But if I stop now, I don't have to worry about any of that shit. If I pull the plug, I'm in control.
Yeah.
It's dumb, but
Well, no, it's definitely a control thing. That's something that's what we all struggle with is with control, which
Yeah.
just because so much is not
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
control, which is a hard thing to fucking deal with. I mean, you want to be able to have some sort of say over what happens and what occurs, like,
Yeah.
like some sort of autonomy in just this colossal wave and web of chaos that happens just to be reality. You want to just have just that one thing, just something that you can't control, and something like that you can control is just getting fucking uncontrollable.
yeah. Like it was that thing I was talking to you about yesterday where it's like with relationships and stuff, relationships mean like whether they be romantic or friendships or stuff, like I do tend to have like I have the tendency to self-destruct those. It's like you're getting too close and I'm going to push you away before you can hurt me.
Exactly, because you want to avoid that, and that way you still have the control, even though it's in anybody's fucking hands, really. Like there's no big divine.
I don't know
fucking
what
thing.
Yeah, like I don't know what scares me more, like the fear of it not working out or the fear of it actually working out.
Because the fear of actually working out is just something to fucking lose.
Yeah.
Whereas if it fear of like it not working out, it's like, well, it's not going to work out. But then you can also just mire in the depression, like, well, of course, it was never going to work out.
Yeah.
Because things just don't work out for me. Or you can have the blind confidence that Nick Cage does, where like, oh no, it's all just going to come up
Everything
my
just
way.
fucking
It's just
works.
going to come up my way. It doesn't matter how many times I nearly fuck it up. I can always pull it out last minute to make it kind of where it kind of comes out into my favor, even though like which is unfair. But that's also some people are, I guess, gifted with those circumstances.
Yeah.
To where
just fucking works out for him no matter what.
it's just failing upwards, where like you've got no right for any of this to be working for you, but it still does, and that's frustrating. And for people who actually have to work hard for their shit, we seek out other means as a way of just trying to just not mire in the anger and the despair of things working out for people.
Makes the shitty reality of life just a little bit more bearable sometimes.
Sometimes, but right until the moment where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
always
when
there.
when the scales tip.
Yeah, which is always there. It's always there. It's always on a precipice, always on an edge of a knife at every time. But I think that's probably the main lesson to take away from the movie is, yeah, bad people get away with shit. That fucking happens. But life does continue and life goes on. And then sometimes there could be, I mean, maybe you can take the ending as a little bit hopeful when the guy that he saved, after taunting and threatening not to save for a while, was like, no, man, like, no, let me help you. Like, I'll stay with you. Let me help you come down from the drugs you're on right now as we sit like next to a tank. So maybe sometimes there can be that thing that happens, but
Doesn't, yeah. I mean, I agree with that 100%. And I also like think where it's like, you can be an asshole every 9 times out of 10, and maybe maybe that one time you're actually a decent human being, it can come back and like help you in the future.
Yeah.
But
So why not maybe try to be a bit more of a decent human being, a bit more, try to, work the odds.
because
Maybe
we
that
all
is.
are in the shitty life together.
Oh yeah,
So,
like
why would-
we're all stuck? We all have to wake up and deal with this every goddamn day.
Yeah. So why would you go out of your way to be like a dick or mean
Yeah.
or like
We don't need any more of that shit. There's
No.
plenty of that out there at any given time. You're gonna run across. You're gonna get cut off in fucking traffic. You're gonna be like
there's always some
Yeah.
asshole that's looking for a fight
Always
because
some-
they
yeah.
had a bad day about something.
about something, so they need to kind of take it out because they lost because it's a lack of control, which it's. I mean, yeah, man, that's fucking life. I guess the movie has done its point in getting people to actually talk about shit.
Yeah.
Not about the movie, because the movie itself is
The
fucking
movie
boring.
Yeah, the movie itself is pretty goddamn boring. There's a couple
with some
good
weird goddamn shots.
Dude, there's a lot of really good cinematography, like one shots and stuff. Like Nick
dude.
Cage going through the house to go arrest the one guy.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah,
not G.
not
the other one.
G. The other guy
to go arrest
G.
not yeah. So there was that really good one shot, and there's just a lot of really good one shot and tracking shots and
Oh, yeah.
and a bunch of really cool cinematography.
Like on the lizard.
Oh, yeah, the weird
or so the
fucking-
iguanas that are there but not there.
yeah, the weird fucking like fisheye lens.
Fisheye
close-up.
lens, so where you've got both of the lizards. Like one is like a beard, it's like one of the bearded lizards,
Yeah,
and then
like
straight
a-
up an iguana, and then but you've also got Cage like constantly in the shot. Kilmer's keeping an eye on the camera and watching everything, and then Cage every now and then
Cage is just staring at the
just
lizards.
keeps staring at them every now and then. But it's also from this weird angled fish lens.
What's with
right
the,
up against?
What's with the lizards on my coffee table?
There's no fucking iguanas on
This
your coffee
fucking
table.
iguana.
What the fuck is that? See, it's shit like that made the movie fun in certain
Yeah.
parts, but that wasn't the entire fucking movie.
Right.
But
It's
also,
like shoot him again. His soul's still dancing, and then the iguana comes back.
after they shoot the breakdancer, and the iguana just starts crawling. Right.
Just Cage's face in that moment where he's just not blinking. He's just smiling.
Oh, I feel like they were kind of trying to capture some of the magic that was Leaving Las Vegas, where he does such a great portrayal, but I don't know. I don't think the seriousness isn't as nearly there. I don't think.
No. Like, I mean, there are a lot of serious parts, but mostly they're undercut with Nicolas Cage just being unhinged on crack. Like, there's a difference between abusing alcohol and abusing uppers. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like when he's doing heroin and stuff, and he's like all down and hasn't slept in like 5 days.
Yeah.
And shit. Like, you can kind of feel it was like, yeah, he's a piece of shit, and he needs to get his shit together. But most of the time, it's like, all right, where are we going now, Nick Cage? And he walks in, is like slapping, he's like, sup.
How's it going? You're
just
gonna need to
fucking-
do. I think
yeah.
go back because there's a good chance that he probably smoked some crack. So I bet if you look
Yeah.
underneath the bed, then you might. It's like one of the beds you
He's
might
just
find.
fucking yoked out of his mind.
Yeah, the
But
entire
like,
time.
but with Leaving Las Vegas, you can it's more of a natural progression of alcohol abuse he's just slowly becoming more and more depressing and dying slowly. And yeah, like it makes sense. I don't know. I don't know like any cokeheads, so I don't know how their lives really go.
I don't know a lot of I know
But
people
I
that did
know-
a lot of coke, but I
know
don't
a
know any
lot of
cokeheads.
Yeah.
Like,
I know a lot of alcoholics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
And, like-
a lot of alcoholics. I know a lot of those. And I know a fair amount of former alcoholics too, which they've done fantastic jobs. And
Here's
I
my
really
thing.
just,
Here's my
hell
thing
yeah.
with this. Yeah, like here's my thing with this. Like, I'm happy that you got sober and everything, but sometimes like former alcoholics like become like just a different kind of insufferable person.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't. I'm sorry, but like you can't regulate it, or you can't have it. Just become sober. Okay, that's great, but don't like become this other like completely different form of piece of shit where it's like I can't stand you when you're drunk and I can't stand you when you're sober either. You're more annoying now. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like
Well, it's just certain people that I mean, I think
It is certain
I think
people.
with
It's
what
not
you're-
everybody.
I'm thinking with what you're saying. Like, there's definitely certain personality types to where you rely like maybe kind of just suck in general, sober, or
Yeah, you have
or
you
your
have
substance.
you have no personality in general. So like when you're drunk, you're
Yeah.
a fucking terrible piece of shit asshole. But when you're sober, like
You're just
insufferable.
you're just blah. But also maybe that was the reason why you were drinking, is because you haven't developed anything outside of that.
Yeah.
To where you can, or maybe just just a jaded asshole.
Yeah. Well, it's like take like my grandpa stopped drinking in '95, and he became a completely different person. But it's like in a good way. Like he was fun to hang out with, and was actually like you could teach us life lessons. He wasn't a drunk asshole piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then on the other, like in the same vein, like my brother stopped drinking almost a year ago, and he's way better. Like he's fun when he's drinking, but he's also fun outside of
drinking. Yeah.
So it's just weird.
Oh yeah, no. Like I know a homie who stopped drinking and has been off for a while now. A lot fucking better. Like just so much cooler, just a cooler person to be around, a lot just happier, gigglier. Still has his moments like the rest of us. Like just because you stop drinking doesn't mean all your problems are going to go away. If you stop doing drugs or any of that, all your problems are going to go away. Just that problem's going to go away, and it's not going to amplify just the regular shitstorm that is life coming at you.
Yeah. And we all have our ways of processing and dealing, and I'm getting better about not drinking to process. Like
Same
sometimes I have my bad days.
Oh yeah.
Like when I lost my grandpa, like I had a really bad day and drunk. I got really fucking drunk.
Oh yeah.
But like most of the time it's not. I'm not drinking out of just sheer depression anymore. Like I'm like, no, let's do something else. Let's find something that makes me happy and do that instead of just sitting and drinking.
Yeah. Which that's all part of the process, all part of like all the steps to figure it out.
I mean, honestly, I was bad there for a little bit. Like I can admit it. I was bad about just like I want to wake up and start drinking, but I'd just gotten out of a bad relationship, and I had, and like the very next thing I do is go out and get used, and I was like, okay, this is great. This is making me feel so much better about my life.
But but is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, no. Well, yeah, that was sarcasm, but.
Yeah, I know. But no, like, no, you know me, same thing. I've definitely been in those dark places.
Sometimes you want a sad drink, but that's honestly the worst time to do it.
Oh yeah, no, when you're at your lowest, reaching for a vice like that really it just does not help. Like, I mean, it's definitely, I think it's been romanticized a lot in media and stuff like that. It's
in movies
and stuff where it's like something happens, you're like, oh God, I need a drink.
I'm gonna go get a bottle of Jack and drink and cry and all that shit. And like I get it. I was that guy for a little bit, but like honestly, what actually works is going to therapy, working out your problems, and like becoming a better person.
Yeah.
And I've always been on the train of if something happens to make you this upset, like, learn from it as an experience and don't fall into the same trap, or at least try not to, because sometimes I'm privy to doing this, pulling or falling into the same traps and living the same mistakes over and over. But
100%.
But again, 100%.
People don't realize.
But like it's also like that. It's familiar, and I know what's gonna happen. So it's like, oh, I can predict it. That I learned that's a anxiety trait.
Yeah.
That's why people with anxiety watch the same shows over and over. Like I'll rewatch Futurama, or I'll rewatch American Dad. You watch the same shows over and over because you know how they're gonna end. Nothing's gonna surprise you, and you can take your it's your comfort show. Like you throw it on, you know exactly what's gonna happen, and you don't have to feel weird about weird and anxious. Like I don't know where this is going. I don't know if I can get into something new right now. That whole spin. Where the fuck are we going with this? This is
we watched a movie earlier,
Were
right?
we talking about a movie?
Well, I think that's where the movie succeeds, is the fact that it can get you off of these tangents, or maybe that's just the
maybe we just need something to talk about,
maybe
because there's
just
nothing to fucking talk about.
That too. But I think between the cinematography and like Werner Herzog's tone, the soundtrack, not like the back scoring kind of sucked for the most part.
Yeah, there's that one really cool harmonica.
The one little harmonica
bit.
part, which I think
again, highlight of the movie. That happens while his soul's still dancing.
Yeah, I think maybe this is where the movie is a little successful. Is if you're trying to find meaning in any of this nothing that happened, like staring in, it's like you're kind of just staring at nothing. Nothing's really happening, so you're just trying to find meaning in it. I think is maybe where the movie is successful. To whereas you can kind of talk about where the parts were good and parts were fun, and maybe what else maybe try to elevate it to an art form because it is Werner Herzog, and you're like maybe like there should be
you have to actually like study and find
so maybe like if you actually do that, if you nitpick it, you can find those things, even though this is ultimately just a really boring fucking movie.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
So we didn't have a bad movie this season.
No, we just had a boring movie.
We had a boring movie, and then we had Hulk, which I thought was going to be the
bad
movie,
and was
but
actually
objectively
it was
isn't
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's
objectively,
a
I can't call it a bad movie.
Fun movie, especially after all the superhero fatigue and everything.
Yeah.
It's fun. So,
I mean, we still got 3 more coming up. We got Tusk, which it's our B movie, and then we got The Thing, which is our classic movie, besides Casino. And classic B movie. And then we got the Big Lebowski to close it out.
Also, just a fucking that's a cult classic.
Yeah,
right there. That's gonna. I'm really looking forward to that episode.
We might have to go do that. Well, if we can get KG over here,
that'd be perfect. We're also gonna have to do nothing but White Russians.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to need a milk substitute one because you do not want to sit in a room with me alone with the door closed.
Yeah, we'll get some. Do you want almond or coconut milk?
Coconut milk. It tastes better with coconut milk. It's supposed to.
I was just thinking about that. It does sound like it would be good with coconut milk.
Give me a nice like a thick coconut cream, like a barista style stuff that they sell.
Yeah.
Dude, fantastic White Russian.
Let's do that.
Not going to tear my asshole apart.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not even sure where we even went with this episode.
It's all good. I mean, we talked about the ups in this movie. It is a slower, boring movie. So I'd say don't put it on if you're, expecting a crazy, let's run around with guns with Nicolas Cage on cocaine.
Yeah,
it's not that kind of a movie.
It's kind of just he's here.
He's here, and he isn't. And he is on cocaine, but he's not.
Cocaine. But he's not saying anything crazy.
There's this crazy bit when he smokes some crack and starts laughing and going off the rails. Like again, that's the highlight of the movie. If anything, watch that scene and be happy with that scene because the rest of the movie just kind of builds up to that.
Look up the scene with Exhibit in the little house where they're giving up the coke and all that, the uncut stuff. Look that up. That's a fun. His soul still dancing scene. That's a lot of fun.
Just look up his soul still dancing, and you'll find it.
But other than that,
I'd still recommend it from a fun art movie.
Oh, especially if you want to just have like a couple of drinks and try to pick out stuff like we've done this past. I'm going to guess 5 hours.
Yeah.
Just kind of breaking down things not even related to it, but things that could be inspired by it, things that can make you think. Force yourself to think sometimes during movies, especially when it's a Werner Herzog movie and you want to come off as smart by saying that you had a lot of thoughts about one of his films.
Yeah. If you wanna impress everybody at a party and cockblock yourself, definitely say, "Dude, Werner Herzog."